I recently read David Gauntlett's book, Making is Connecting: The Social Power of Creativity from Craft and Knitting to Digital Everything, as I continue thinking and learning about creativity. Gauntlett's text considers the nature of creativity and the disposition of creative individuals. In the early portion of the text, Gauntlett establishes his definition of creativity as he works through past understandings of the concept. He notes that creativity has often been identified by outcomes, or ideas that haven't appeared in their context before. Gauntlett questions such an understanding because it separates feeling from experience. This past definition would also require individuals to be fully aware of all creative work in their context if they want to develop a novel outcome. He offers a short definition of creativity. Quote, "Everyday creativity refers to a process which brings together at least one active human mind and the material or digital world in the activity of making something which is novel in that context and is a process which invokes a feeling of joy." Quote, "The everyday or seemingly simple aspect of creativity is a key aspect of Gauntlett's definition. Inaction doesn't need to change the world to still be creative. Everyday action can still be creative. Being active is a key part of the definition of creativity here too." Gauntlett calls attention to the nature of media with TV expansion. He writes, quote, "The 20th century was emphatically the era of sit back and be told media leisure time." Quote, "This is juxtaposed with the active form of social media that so much of his text is about." Thinking about active and passive engagement leads me to think about my own role as a rhetoric and composition teacher. I am interested in how educational systems can stifle or foster student creativity, or in other words, what approaches might enable or inhibit my students from being active participants in their learning. Gauntlett's work reminded me of Paulo Freire, the famous Brazilian educator and theorist. Freire is well known for his work on banking education, where teachers are seen as a bank and students can come and make withdrawals. Students are passive actors in this type of education, which mirrors the sit back and be told turn of phrase. Freire writes, quote, "Implicit in the banking concept is the assumption of a dichotomy between human beings and the world. A person is merely in the world, not with the world or with others. The individual is a specter, not a recreator." Quote. Rhetoric and composition instructors ought to develop course content that enables students to be active participants. This can include writing to real audiences, facilitating multimodal modes of composing, and valuing the lived experience of students. Broadly speaking, educators should design their courses in a way that values and encourages student creativity.